Given below are two statements. Statement 1. The equivalent EMF of two non-ideal batteries connected in parallel is smaller than either of the two EMFs. So what it says, that the equivalent EMF of two non-ideal batteries connected in parallel. So two non-ideal batteries, let's say two non-ideal batteries, that is E1 and internal resistance R1 is connected with another battery in parallel with E2 and internal resistance R2. So the equivalent EMF, we have to calculate the equivalent EMF, that is equivalent EMF E is equal to, we know that E1 by R1 plus E2 by R2 divided by 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. This is the equivalent EMF. Now the equivalent EMF is the weighted average of these two. But here it says that the equivalent EMF of two non-ideal batteries connected in parallel is smaller than either of the two EMFs. So it says that the EMF, equivalent EMF, is smaller than both of the two EMFs, but it is not. It is the weighted average, that is it is larger than the smaller one and lesser than the larger one. Suppose, let's see with an example. Suppose R1 is 1, R2 is 1, then E is equal to E1 by 1 plus E2 by 2, that is E1 plus E2 divided by 1 by R1, that is 1, 1 by R2 1, 1 plus 1, that is 2. So if the internal resistances are exactly equal, then the equivalent EMF is the average of the two. That means it is greater than the smaller one but less than the larger one. So statement 1 is wrong. Now see the statement 2. The equivalent internal resistance of two non-ideal batteries connected in parallel is smaller than the internal resistance of either of the two batteries. So now we have to find the equivalent internal equivalent resistance. So that we know that equivalent resistance 1 by R is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. That is, when two resistances are in parallel, the equivalent resistance becomes 1 by R is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2, and in parallel combination the equivalent resistance R is less than R1 and R is also less than R2. So the equivalent resistance is less than both of the two. So here it says that the internal resistance of either of the two batteries, so the is smaller. So the in parallel, the equivalent internal resistance in parallel is smaller than the internal resistances of either of the two batteries. That is, this option is correct. So statement 1 is wrong, but statement 2 is correct. So see, option 1 it says statement 1 true, so it is not. Both statement 1 and true are false, no. Both statement 1 and 2 are true, no. Statement 1 is false but statement 2 is true, that is option 4 is the correct answer. So here is the correct answer. Thanks for watching. Please like this video, subscribe my channel and share this video. Thank you.